Jurassic World. Okay, if you've been following my trailer reviews for Jurassic World, then you realize that I was very worried about the special effects, especially the CGI. To me, the CGI doesn't look as impressive as they should, but I did say that probably they'll all change with the final version of the film. And I was really looking forward to the movie because of Chris Pratt, and I love the idea of him taming the raptors to chase down this hybrid dinosaur, and that there's chaos through Jurassic Park. Well, Jurassic World in this case, throughout the theme park. So, yeah, I was looking forward to that. Okay, so this movie was fun. It was. It's way better than Jurassic Park 3. There's a couple moments where it pissed me the hell off, but not as bad as Jurassic Park 3. I'm still deciding if I like this more than Jurassic Park 2, or aka The Lost World Jurassic Park, because the thing is that even though The Lost World Jurassic Park had this environmental message that hits you over the head and it makes it slightly less fun, but at the same time, I do appreciate the effects, the action sequences, and all the chaos and destruction by the dinosaurs. Here, okay, so the CGI effects in the end are not as impressive as they should be. If you think they are good, good for you. But to me, these effects, a lot of it, don't look as good as they should be. This is like the grandchild of Jurassic Park, the one that was a milestone in special effects. You would think that this one would be amazing in special effects, that people will talk about it, be like, okay, so this is the new Avatar, this will set a milestone in special effects, every other movie will look like shit after this, and they have to be as good as Jurassic World. Unfortunately, no. For many years, I was amazed by Iron Man. I was amazed by the Incredible Hulk from the Avenger movies. I find them to be believable characters. Gollum looked amazing from Lord of the Rings. But now, for Jurassic World, the Velociraptors, I gotta say, have a lot of detail on them. And they're mostly good. But every other dinosaur that isn't an animatronic just looked bad, in my opinion. I'm not sure if it's the skin textures. I'm not sure if it's the lighting. I'm not even sure if it's because of the stupid filter they have over everything in this film. This filter is like a bluish-greenish kind of tint through the movie. I don't know why it has to be like that. I guess it's supposed to be a cinematic feel, but it makes everything look a bit more cartoonish than it should be. And the thing is that the environments are like 90% real. Seriously, they look very, very good. I mean, of course, whenever it does the faraway shot of the island, you could tell it's that CGI. But still, when you see the environments and stuff, they look pretty good. And so far, the best special effect has to be this hamster ball. The fact that the glass looks like actual glass. Yeah, that's a good special effect. But when you really think about it, how does this machine actually work makes no sense to me whatsoever. Because this hamster ball, I know they call it a gyrosphere, but it's supposed to be on grass and has to go through mud and all that stuff. And you don't really see that much debris on the hamster ball. Yes, you do see a couple scratches, and I love that detail. Yes, you do see the bit of the reflections of the people inside. That was good. And I like how the light bounces off the hamster ball. But the problem is, how come this thing stays so clean? Seriously, it stays very clean. People travel all over this, and then they get off the ride, and then new people come in. How does this work? Unless I missed something that Jimmy Fallon said. What? I don't know. But yeah, to me, that's the most, the best looking CGI I have seen, because the glass is CGI. The actual vehicle underneath is actually real. And it's actually pulled through a track. But the dinosaurs, though, a lot of it you could tell is CG. And if it's not a Velociraptor or the animatronic Apatosaurus, then you could really tell it's CGI. And yeah, you could ask, well, what do you expect? How do you think they could get away with this by using animatronics and suits? I'm like, it's possible, but I understand why they have to do CGI. I just expect it to be well done. I mean, and that's the thing about, I gotta say, like 65 to 70% of the CGI effects really don't look good to me, seriously. But like I said, the movie was fun, and if you're okay with the chaos caused by the dinosaurs, then it's a lot of fun. If you like Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and if you like the characters, then this movie is a lot of fun. And here's the thing. My favorite characters happens to be the 4 Velociraptors. I actually know their names. Blue, Delta, Charlie, And I forgot the last one. Wow, I contradict myself. Wait, so it's Blue, Delta, Charlie. Is it Alpha? I could be wrong. Oh man, I screwed up on that one. My bad, guys. But I know Blue is the leader. But seriously, these Velociraptors have been given character, and at least I know most of their names. I don't even know Jake Johnson's name. I don't even know Chris Pratt's name or Bryce Dallas Howard. I just call them by the actors and actresses' actual names. I believe Bryce Dallas Howard plays Claire. I believe Chris Pratt plays Owen, but I don't really remember that well. I mean, I remember Dr. Alan Grant. I remember Ellie Sattler. I remember Ian Malcolm. Oh yeah, speaking of which, there's a couple references to the original Jurassic Park. Well, there's a lot of references, but there's a couple that I do like. I do like that Chris Pratt, his suit, his outfit, looks like a mixture of Muldoon's and Alan Grant's outfits. I do like that Bryce Dallas Howard mostly wears white, which reminds me of John Hammond. I do like the fact that they show Ian Malcolm's book at one point. I think, yeah, they showed it on the counter of Jake Johnson's desk. There's a bunch of other references as well, like the night vision goggles, and the Jeep, and the flare, and the goat, and yeah. Some of those kind of pissed me off because it took place in this visitor center that's from the first film, but I don't understand why it's in ruins. That's the thing, they don't explain exactly what happened after the first movie. No one did. And they never explained anything about Jurassic Park 2 or 3, so I'm not even sure if that's canon. And because of that, I'm trying to figure out exactly how were they able to create a park like this. And they don't even say how long it's been operational. Probably they did, but I did not hear anything like that. They didn't give a brief history on how this park was created. You know that John Hammond is dead, and you do know that the guy from Life of Pi and Amazing Spider-Man, yeah, the evil Indian guy, is now the creator of Jurassic World, and he was given his blessing by John Hammond to create this park. And I got very pissed about that, because I'm like, wait, John Hammond learned his lesson, okay? After the events of Jurassic Park 1, he's like, yeah, I shouldn't have created this theme park. In Jurassic Park 2, he's like, okay, I tried to create the theme park, yes, but I want these animals to live in the wild. No one mess with them. No one take anything from them. Just leave the animals where they are. This is their home now. So, yeah, I don't understand why John Hammond would give his blessing to create a frickin' theme park, which means he learned nothing. Nothing. If the Lost World Jurassic Park did happen, why did they try to make a theme park in the end? I mean, InGen lost their founder. What? I don't get it. So yeah, this flamboyant Indian guy from Life of Pi, he is the founder of this theme park, and it's a success. It's an actual success. A lot of people want to come to this park, and apparently it's too big of a success because people seen the freaking Tyrannosaurus Rex, and now they think it's like an elephant in a zoo. When Bryce Dallas Howard said that, I was like, bitch, you don't know what you're talking about. It's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. People think it's like an elephant in the zoo. People are bored of dinosaurs. Okay, first of all, people still go to zoos. Okay, people want to see fucking elephants. People want to see fucking crocodiles. People want to see fucking birds, fucking parrots. And you're trying to fucking tell me that people are bored of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, Brontosaurus. They're bored of riding on top of baby Triceratops. What does that mean? What? Oh yeah, so we created the hybrid dinosaur. No. Speaking of which, all the dinosaurs are basically hybrids since you use the DNA of frogs. Okay? So they're already hybrids. But they're like, no, we're gonna create this mega, ultra, super duper hybrid dinosaur called the Omnirex. Or something like that. Omnidextrous Rex. I forgot what it's called. This dinosaur was really boring, to be honest. Seriously, what I like about the publicity about this and the marketing, they don't really show the design of this hybrid dinosaur until like the last month. And then you're like, wait, so that hybrid dinosaur is a purplish looking T-Rex with velociraptor arms? Really? So yeah, I didn't get that idea that people are bored of dinosaurs. That is such bullshit. They showed this part where babies are riding on top of baby stegosauruses and triceratops. And I'm like, are you kidding me? People are bored? She's like, oh, we gotta be like Disney World. We gotta build new attractions and stuff. Okay, then why don't you make more fucking dinosaurs? Not hybrid dinosaurs with mutant genes that could camouflage them and hide their body temperature. Seriously. They're like, no, we need something scarier, meaner, and we're not gonna learn about the genetics of this dinosaur. Who? What? I don't like it. Seriously. And the fact that this adult pie guy is like, oh yeah, like John Hammond said, spare no expense. No. John Hammond actually looked at the freaking research of each dinosaur, okay? He made sure that he was there for the birth of every dinosaur, so the baby dinosaurs can imprint on them. Sure, he had good intentions, okay? Sure, he lost control. He had no control whatsoever. But he learned that in the end. But in the end, he believes that these dinosaurs are beautiful creatures and that no one should mess with them. He learned that in the end. Now you're telling me he didn't learn that? And he's like, oh yeah, you could build a theme park. I'm about to die anyway. Ah! What? To me, this is like was it Jaws 3 or Jaws 4, The Revenge, when they showed Roy Schneider's picture and his wife says, oh yeah, he died of fear from the shark. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He shot the shark twice! Still, he killed the damn shark. You're telling me John Hammond learned nothing? I don't get it. This makes me hate John Hammond even more. This guy, oh my god. He does not know the genetics of this hybrid dinosaur that he's about to unveil to the entire world. Seriously. He doesn't know what it's made out of. He's like, oh yeah, it's about 30% T-Rex. And? I don't know. You have to ask the Asian guy from the first Jurassic Park. And also, that confused me also. Why is Dr. Wu like this? I understand. He's the main reason why these dinosaurs are created. Yes. But did he not feel any guilt about the deaths in the first Jurassic Park movie? Did he not feel sad when Samuel L. Jackson died? Or Muldoon? And even though the body count is really, really low in the first Jurassic Park, still, it ended up being a failure. All the dinosaurs most likely escaped from their paddocks, or their defenses to the paddocks are destroyed anyway, so even if the fences are online with electricity with 10,000 volts, probably doesn't work anymore. Yeah, that whole thing with Adult Pie just pissed me the hell off. Seriously. It's just... Okay, so, Chris Pratt was a lot of fun. He's basically Star-Lord, but I liked him. He's this hunter who worked from the Navy, and he trains these raptors. And I love the first scene we see him in when he's training the raptors, and he's giving these dead rats to the raptors, and they actually pay attention to him. Yes, the CGI raptors don't really look that good under the lighting, but still, I believe them as characters, and they're likable characters. And I like Chris Pratt's relationship with them. It was very cool. And even though to me it was unnecessary to have that scene where the kid fell off the frickin' bridge just so Chris Pratt could show Vincent D'Onofrio that he could kind of tame the raptors. Seriously, that kid's a frickin' moron. The one that was holding on to the net. It's not like the rod was attached to his arm or something like that. No, he could have just let it go. But no, he didn't let it go. He held on to it and then fell off. And also, there's no safety precautions. There's no, like, hook that could put him on top of this freaking bridge. Are you insane? And also, there's no guys already with freaking guns just in case something bad happens? What? This accident should not have happened! So Bryce Dallas Howard, I love her acting in this, and it's a shame because we don't really see her that much in movies, and even if we do, we keep mistaking her for Jessica Chastain. Seriously, I was so confused when I saw The Help, I keep forgetting which one is which, and that's bad for me. But I like Bryce Dallas Howard. I thought she was fine as Gwen Stacy. Nobody gave her anything to do in that movie, so I don't fully blame her. So in here, even though I don't really like her hair style, but still, actually, she kind of reminds me of Anna Williams from Tekken. And speaking of which, her sister, played by Judy Greer, kind of reminds me of Nina Williams from Tekken. So when you see them together in the end and they were hugging each other, I was like, oh, it's like Anna Williams and Nina Williams from Tekken. That's kind of interesting. I'm wondering if the people actually thought that way. Or I'm the only one. I don't know. Bryce Dallas Howard plays this very strong woman, and she wanted to be the very best, and she's left in charge of the park, and she's trying to unveil this new dinosaur. Okay, so this new dinosaur, It's a hybrid of Velociraptor, T-Rex, Cuttlefish, and a tree frog. And the thing is that even she doesn't know what it's made out of. She didn't, Adult Pie didn't, nobody did. So when Adult Pie talked with Dr. Wu, and Dr. Wu's like, oh yeah, I'm not allowed to talk about classified information like the genetics of the dinosaur. I'm like, why not? Who the hell paid you, Dr. Wu? Who pays you? What do you mean classified information? Adult Pie should know! He's the owner! They didn't even know about the genetics of the dinosaur until it killed people. God. And that's the thing. I understand that they want to take the dinosaur alive. I get that. But do you only have to send 8 freaking guys with non-lethals? We need the hunter from the Lost World Jurassic Park then, because he took down a T-Rex, motherfucker. 8 guys, and one of them is played by the enemy from Tokyo Drift. Yeah, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, and the Wolverine, the one who was in his underwear, and Hugh Jackman threw him off the balcony. I don't know why he keeps playing these supporting characters who end up being dead. These 8 guys couldn't even take down this dinosaur, and go figure, right? With non-lethals, one guy had a net. I don't get this. You send 8 guys to try to take down this dinosaur. Spare no expense, my ass! Get the fucking army in there! Get the Navy! Get robots! Find Tony Stark! Get Project Veronica! Get the Hulkbuster! Something like that! Oh no, we have to protect this dinosaur, which costs $2 million. 8 guys! It's running it around the park! Causing destruction! Yeah, this movie could have been frickin' prevented if people were not fucking idiots. It's not like Dennis Nedry, you know, betraying, John Hammond and creating this code and shut down all the emergency systems, shut down the power and all that stuff so he could get out. No, it's not like that. This is because of a dumbass. I want to blame the security guard, but I can't fully blame him. No. Bryce Dallas Howard had to recruit Chris Pratt because Adult Pie said so. So she got Chris Pratt, and they inspect the paddock, and they're like, huh, where's the new dinosaur? We can't find her. Her. It's a her. I forgot. It's a she. She ate the sibling. She checked out the thermals, and it turns out there's no thermal detection. And the security guy's like, wait, I've been here the whole time. There's no way it could have left. And Chris Pratt's like, wait, were those markings there before? And it shows the claw marks on the wall, which suggests that she jumped it. And Bryce Dallas Howard is like, oh my god, I have to go to control center and then figure out what's going on. I was like, why can't you just call the control center right now? Just call them. Seriously, just call them. Don't run, don't go to your car, don't do anything stupid, just call them. She ran to her car. She was driving towards the visitor center, the main control center, and she calls Jake Johnson, and Jake Johnson's like, no, the dinosaur's still there. We see the tracking system over there. But at that time, it turns out that Chris Pratt, some Hispanic worker, and the fat security guard were investigating the claw marks. They didn't wait. They didn't freaking wait. They didn't think, oh, probably it's a diversion or something. No. They're like, oh, we gotta investigate the claw marks. Huh, let's see what kind of dinosaur they cooked up over there. Oh, shit! Turns out the dinosaur's still here? Run! So yeah, the Hispanic guy dies, and the fat security guard opens the freaking paddock door! I understand that Chris Pratt has to live somehow, but still, oh my god. The lives of 2 people versus the lives of 20,000 in this visitor center, in this theme park. Really? The Omnirexes lose and eats the fat security guard, who can't even freaking hide. Chris Pratt had the smart idea to go under the car and douse himself with gasoline, but for some reason, the Omnirex does not get him. The Omnirex should have seen him go under this car, which was only like 20 feet away from the freaking door. The Omnirex was about to eat him, but got stuck between the door. I'm pretty sure it's seen Chris Pratt, but apparently not. So Chris Pratt is still alive. And then they got the 8 army guys, and that's the problem with this movie. This movie should have been like Colonial Marines, should have been like Aliens. You know, should have this badass team whose only mission is to take down this hybrid dinosaur. And yes, I know in Aliens that a lot of them died immediately, but still, at least each character had a personality, and that makes you like them. That makes you relate to them. All these people are just meatbags. Seriously, every time you see a military guy, you're like, okay, he's dead. Seriously. The only survivors are basically Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and the kids. Sure, almost every single person in the theme park who's a visitor, who's a guest, lives. Almost everyone. I gotta talk about that death scene, which kind of bothered me. So we have this side story with the two kids, and they are the nephews of Bryce Dallas Howard. Turns out that their parents are getting a divorce, and their mother is played by Judy Greer, who's only had like 3 scenes in the movie with a maximum of 5 minutes screen time. So yeah, the parents are getting divorced. Whoop-de-doo. We actually give a damn. Seriously, we have to talk about the divorce storyline that was from Jurassic Park 3 and the first Jurassic Park that was briefly mentioned. So yeah, the divorce story went nowhere. I guess it means that in the end, oh yeah, the parents are gonna stay together, I guess? Or it doesn't matter that the kids were almost eaten, we're still getting a divorce! Who the fuck cares about the divorce side plot? Seriously, you don't need it! You really don't! You could have just shown 2 random kids! That's it! Oh, they had to be related with Bryce Dallas Howard, just to make it interesting, I guess. Whatever. So yeah, these 2 kids ditched Bryce Dallas Howard's assistant. And here's the thing. The assistant is not a bad person. She's just there to do her fucking job. Her job is to make sure that these 2 brats go through the entire theme park with no problems. They had a week. 1 week. 7 days. This movie takes place in 1 day. 1 day! Only a couple hours, then shit goes wrong! Seriously, what the hell? These kids had 7 days to explore the theme park. I'm not sure how big Jurassic World is, but here's the thing. Disney World is created with 4 different areas. There's Magic Kingdom, Epcot, there's MGM, and there's the Animal Kingdom. I haven't been there in a while, so probably there's another area. I could be wrong. But back then, when I went there, it was, I forgot what year, it was 2000 something. Yeah, it had those 4 areas, and it took 1 day to visit each area, fully. So 4 days. 4 days. I'm not sure how big Jurassic World is, but I'm pretty sure if it's as big as Disney World or slightly bigger, 1 week should be fine. These kids don't have to fucking hurry. And also, they're related to They're related to Bryce Dallas Howard, who's basically one of the directors of the theme park. I'm pretty sure they could get an extension. So they have these fast pass bracelet things, and they decided to ditch the assistant. I don't know why. That's the thing. If you show us that the assistant was a bitch who hates children or something like that, or was a terrible person, then I understand why she deserves her death. But no! She's just trying to do her job. And you ditched her at the very first second. So yeah, they went on the hamster ball thing, and at that point I was like, oh my god, Bryce Dallas Howard could not be that stupid to not call up on her nephews. Turns out she is. Because she was looking at some surveillance footage of a mother reuniting with her daughter, and she's like, oh my god, I forgot about my nephews. I was like, what? So she calls the assistant, and the assistant's like, I don't know where they are. I'm so sorry. I can't find them. They just ditched me as soon as we got onto the park. And she's like, wait, what? So she calls the 2 kids. Turns out there's a bad signal, so the 2 kids couldn't hear her. Why couldn't she send them a text message? If the signal is bad, I understand. The reception is bad. They're static. I get that. You could have tried to send them a text message, Bryce Dallas Howard. But nope, you didn't. You just keep trying to call them. And at the most inconvenient times, too. So these 2 brats, they're in this gyrosphere. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I love this part about the gyrosphere ride. Because there's this worker over there, and I understand how he feels. Yeah, he makes sure that 2 people enter the ride at each time, and then 2 people get out. So when the 2 people get in, they're like, have a great ride. Have fun. And then he gets a phone call that they have to shut the ride down. He's like, wait, are you serious? I'm sorry, people, the ride is closed. And he has to deal with hundreds and hundreds of angry people. He's like, I just work here. I love that. That was great. Colin Trevorrow is very good at dialogue like that. I really like that. So these 2 brats, the child actors are not bad. They are good, actually. I just don't like these characters at first because they didn't have to ditch the freaking assistant. So at least the younger one is smarter. The teenage one is a bit of a dick because he's like, well, we got the fast pass, so we might as well go into this restricted area with the door that was obviously been torn apart. And also, we just got the message from Aunt Claire, and of course nothing went wrong. And of course we didn't get the message that we have to turn the gyrospheres back. How many warning signs do you need, you stupid dumbass? They go into the restricted area. The young kid's the smart one. He's like, listen, we gotta go back. We can't be in trouble. And he's like, listen, see? He said, oh, we see 4 dinosaurs here. And the young one's like, you mean 5. You can't count, can you? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. And they see the reflection of the Omni-Rex, which is behind them. And this is supposed to be a reference to that scene in the first Jurassic Park where Lex and Tim are in the Jeep and then the T-Rex goes into the sunroof of the Jeep to try to eat them. Yeah, it does the exact same thing here with the Omni-Rex. The Omni-Rex kills one of the Ankylosaurs and then goes for the kids. It breaks the glass ball, and then the kids... Actually, I like this part, that the teenager timed it well. That, okay, we're gonna get out of this gyrosphere at this point in time, and then we get off our seatbelts, we get rid of them, and then we go onto the ground, wait after the gyrosphere drops to the ground, and when it's getting picked up, then we run. I like that. The teenager was actually thinking. That was good. I like that. I didn't like the fact that he didn't think about anything before this, but still. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard has to go get the kids, and they have this very touching scene with the dying apatosaur. And this apatosaur, you can really tell that it's an animatronic, and it really looks good. It really does. I like this one. Sure, the rest of the body is CGI, but the head of the apatosaurus looks awesome, and I love how much detail they put into it. I checked out the making of this, and they actually put a function where it looks like it's actually breathing, you know, moving up its lungs and all that stuff, and that was good. I love that. It was very touching, and Bryce Dallas Howard does her infamous single tear drop scene. And then it turns out that all the apatosauruses are basically dead, and that the Omni-Rex is actually just hunting for sport. This scene was very good. It is one of the best scenes in the movie. I really liked it. And there's not much violence, and not much dialogue even. It's just them with a dying dinosaur. That was good. And also, the fact that it reminds me of Littlefoot from The Land Before Time, yeah, I almost want to shed a tear too. So then, they go to the first visitor center from the first movie. Ugh. People do not try to reuse this? Seriously? Or they tried to, but they couldn't find it? What? I don't get it. So yeah, the visitor center is in ruins, and the kids just happened to stumble upon it. And they found a Jeep, and they switched the... They switched the battery with the battery of one of the newer vehicles. And I was like, listen, this Jeep has been used for about 2 decades. You think just the battery could fix it? Really? Then the Omni-Rex finds Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard over there. And at that point, you're thinking, okay, so the dinosaur knows where they are. Why is it toying with them? Just eat them. It keeps making these stupid mistakes, even though it's supposed to be an intelligent animal. At that time, it turns out Adult Pie was trying to find his helicopter pilot, but he couldn't find him. So he's like, I'll fly the helicopter. And yeah, that's his only useful shtick in this freaking movie, that he could fly a helicopter. And you know that he's gonna be dead. If you've seen the trailers, you've seen that the helicopter fell and crashed and burned. And I do not feel bad for him. I do not feel bad for him. I don't care. Seriously, the decisions he makes is stupid. Because he had a scene with Dr. Wu, and he's like, listen, Dr. Wu, what you're doing here is unethical. What you're doing here is wrong. I want you to pack up your things. You gotta go. No, you can't do any more research here. And I was like, why? He did exactly what you told him to do. You gave him a stupid memo that said make it cooler and scarier. You're an idiot. Dr. Wu did his job. Dr. Wu said, not everything here is natural. We had to splice DNA from other animals to create these dinosaurs. Otherwise, these dinosaurs would have looked very different. Which I like that argument, because which would have meant that the dinosaurs would have had feathers. But seriously, how come Dr. Wu never told him about the freaking cuttlefish that he could camouflage? And also, Dr. Wu didn't really feel that bad about the 8 people that died. Well, 10 people if you include the fat security guard and the Spanish worker. And also, it turns out that the Omnirex also killed other people because of the trashed trailer cart in front of the old visitor center. The Adolpi is flying this helicopter, and then the pterodons escaped, and they crashed into the helicopter, and the helicopter falls down, explodes, and then the pterodons attack the people. And this scene was freaking awesome. Seriously, this is the kind of scene I wanted to see in a Jurassic Park movie. Thousands of people in this theme park, and all of a sudden, shit goes wrong, and all the people are being eaten. I like the fact that the pterodons were trying to pick up the baby Stegosaurus and the baby Triceratops. The workers over there were trying to protect the dinosaurs and the children. I like that. So there's so much chaos, and there's this very funny couple seconds about this guy who sees a pterodon, and he's running with his drinks. I was like, what the hell? He's like, oh shit, bring the drinks. And then we get to one of the most controversial scenes in this film. The assistant's death. Oh my god. The assistant finally meets up with the two kids, and she's making sure that they are still okay and they're trying to get out. But she gets captured by one of the pterodons. And I was like, oh my god, why? No, she did nothing wrong. So you're expecting it to be an off-screen kind of thing. You know, like, okay, she flies away off-screen and that's the end of her. No, 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 no. She gets air juggled by a couple pterodons, and then one of the pterodons loses her and she falls into the water. As soon as she falls into the water, the entire crowd in the theater were like, oh no. This scene was well done, but I feel like it's a death that was better saved for a villain or something. She's trying to get out of the water. Then all the pterodons try to pick her up. You're like, okay, okay, let the pterodons eat her or something like that. Just take her out of the water. But then she keeps getting dropped into the water. I was like, ah, no! Get her out of the water! Get her out of the water! So one of the pterodons picked her up out of the water. Then in slow motion, the mosasaur comes up and eats both her and the pterodon and goes back into the water. I was like, why? She did nothing wrong! Okay, I admit, this movie had the balls to kill off a female character. And yes, I know that out of the 8 army people used by the Adolpi earlier in the movie to track down the hybrid dinosaur, one of them is female, and I like that, but she probably survived because they don't show the rest of the heart signatures from the rest of the group. You could assume she died, but you don't really see her dead. The fact that this movie had the balls to kill off a female character, good job! But she isn't a bad person. She's not a villain. I understand. What do you expect? Shit went wrong. Chaos everywhere. I was like, okay, but why couldn't you show that the pterodons were eating other people? You could have showed the pterodons eating families and all that stuff. No! This is the actual the only deaths you've seen. Seriously. Other people get bitten, yes, but you don't see them, like, dying or, you know, stuff like that. No, no, no. You actually see this on-screen death, and that's the only one you see throughout the scene. And I was like, why? What did this poor woman do that deserved this? Seriously. Still, it was a very tense scene because I actually cared for the woman who I barely know about. I wanted her to get out of the water. That scene was really heart-pounding, though. Chris Pratt arrives, and he does a tranquilizer, and Bryce Dallas Howard saves Chris Pratt at one point, and she was badass because she was wearing heels, and she was using the gun. She shot, like, this pterodon with, like, a T-Rex head. I know it's an actual dinosaur, I just don't know the name of it, but it had, like, a T-Rex looking head. And she saved Chris Pratt. She knocked over the T-Rex head-looking pterodon, and she shoots at it, like, 5 times. That was pretty cool. But here's the problem. The kids see this. The kids see this. Just 1 minute passed by, and Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard and the kids go into this car, and there's chaos all around them. People are running away, and the kids are like, "You're not gonna leave us, right?" And Bryce Dallas Howard's like, "I will never, ever leave you out of my sight again." And the kids are like, "No, no, 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 we meant him, we meant him, we meant him." And they're pointing at Chris Pratt. And I was like, oh my god, you're such dicks. And Bryce Dallas like, what? And the little guy's like, yeah, we meant him. Yes, it was a very funny scene. But at the same time, I'm like, did you not see Bryce Dallas Howard being badass? Did you not? Then there's another side plot where InGen, and one of the leaders is Vincent D'Onofrio, and he's trying to recruit this team of velociraptors so they could use them as weapons. I don't get that. I really don't. Seriously, he saw one demonstration. One demonstration. He's like, oh yeah, we're ready. We're ready to take on the Al-Qaeda or something like that. I'm like, really? He's like, no, we need a field test. We're going to take on this 4 velociraptor to track down this hybrid dinosaur, which is like 3 times their size. What? Whatever. We got this cool looking action sequence where Chris Pratt is riding on a motorcycle and all the velociraptors are hunting down this hybrid dinosaur. So, they track down the hybrid dinosaur, and here's the thing that kind of confused me. The velociraptors and the hybrid dinosaur talk to each other. So, my friend next to me is like, oh my god, I know what's happening. And I was like, so what? And Chris Pratt's like, I know why they didn't tell us what it's made out of. It's part raptor. And then the raptors turn on Chris Pratt. Okay. It was cool. I admit that. I liked it. But at the same time, how can a hybrid dinosaur know how to speak velociraptorese? Seriously, what? Chris Pratt even said this. This thing's been in isolation its whole life. It ate its sibling. It didn't see anything else. This is entirely new to her. How would it know how to speak to a frickin' velociraptor? And how much of its DNA is part raptor then? Because I heard it's like 30% T-Rex. The velociraptors found their new alpha, which is the new hybrid dinosaur, the Omnirex, and then Indominus Rex, I think that's its name. I just remember now. So the velociraptors turned on Chris Pratt, ate all the army guys. Oh my god. This movie did horrible with the army guys. Seriously, you could have been like Colonial Marines, giving these guys some personality so we care about them. So every time they die, we're like, oh no, not him, not Apone, not Hudson, not Vasquez, not Gorman. And I don't really like that much of Gorman. Like that, you know, give you that feeling. But no, these are just faceless guys who just die. Seriously. The Raptors try to chase down Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and the kids, and then they go into the visitor center, and they're the only ones there. Vincent D'Onofrio gets killed by one of the Velociraptors, and then the Velociraptors ganged up on Chris Pratt, and then Chris Pratt did his Velociraptor whisperer, and he talked with Blue, and Blue's like, yeah, we're back with you again. We don't trust the new girl anymore. So the new dinosaur come over there, she gets mad, and knocks Blue unconscious. And I was like, no, not Blue! So the sibling Velociraptors were like, hey, you can't do that to our sibling! Arrgh! So you have the 2 Velociraptors trying to take down the Indominus Rex, but it's no good because the Velociraptors are too small. So at that point, the little kid's like, we need more teeth. We need more teeth. And at that point, I was like, wait a second, more teeth? We barely saw the T-Rex. We only saw, like, the forehead of the T-Rex. Does that mean that the T-Rex is going to be used to fight the Indominus Rex? Oh my god, movie. You're going to be so freaking amazing. And I'm going to excuse every single mistake that you had throughout this film. Seriously, when Bryce Dallas Howard realizes what he meant by more teeth, he's like, okay, I'm going to grab this flare, and I'm going to run. So she goes to the paddock. Oh yeah, right before this, we had this very hilarious scene with Jake Johnson. I love his character, seriously. I love the fact that he wears the original Jurassic Park shirt, and he's like, the original Jurassic Park is legit, yo! And he has these toy dinosaurs on top of his desk, and at one point, Chris Pratt was so mad that he smacks all the dinosaur toys, and Jake Johnson's like, really, man? What the fuck? So Jake Johnson was talking with the girl that he likes, and the girl is like, listen, we're all being evacuated. There's a boat, so I'm gonna leave now, okay? Are you coming with us? And Jake Johnson stands up, and he looks towards the monitor, see Bryce Dallas Howard, and he knows she needs his help. And then he looks back at the girl, and he's like, someone's gotta stay behind. So he walks towards the girl, about to kiss her. And then she's like, oh, listen, I have a boyfriend. Oh my god, this is amazing. And I heard that this was not the original take. The original take was that they actually kissed. And then Colin Trevorrow's like, now we gotta make it more funny. I love you, Colin Trevorrow, for that. That was great. So Jake Johnson's like, wait, but you never talk about him. And she's like, well, not at work. And he's like, can I just get a hug? Okay. Seriously, Jake Johnson was so good. So yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard goes in front of the paddock, and she yells at Jake Johnson to open the paddock and make sure that he's a man. Just do what you're supposed to do, man. And Jake Johnson's like, why do you have to make this so personal? So he opens the paddock, and then Bryce Dallas Howard opens up the flare, holds it up, and then the paddock door opens, and then you see our big favorite mama come out, the T-Rex, and then you're like, holy shit, this is gonna be so awesome. So Bryce Dallas Howard runs as fast as she can with the flare, even though this T-Rex should have just eaten her. Seriously, she's running in freaking heels. But apparently she's like the Flash. She's running in these high heels, running towards the Indominus Rex, throws the flare at the Indominus Rex, and the Indominus Rex looks up, and the T-Rex makes an amazing entrance by smashing through the skeleton of the Spinosaur, and it yells its out its loud roar, "Arr!" And you're like, holy shit, shit is gonna go down! And then the T-Rex and the Indominus Rex fought, and then it turns out the T-Rex gets its ass whooped, and you're like, no! I saw Jurassic Park 3! I can't go through the heartbreak again! Don't do this to me! No! And the Indominus Rex was about to chow down on the T-Rex, and then you hear the Velociraptor yelp out of nowhere, and then the Indominus Rex is like, huh? And then you see Blue running in slow motion towards them. It's like, ah! And then jumps on the Indominus Rex, and the Indominus is like, what the fuck is this shit? And then the T-Rex stands back up and was beating the shit out of the Indominus Rex. And then Blue jumps on top of the T-Rex to jump out on the Indominus Rex and keeps going back and forth like it's a platformer game. And then and every single time one of them gets knocked out, they stand back up and they join the fight again. And this fight lasted for like 45 seconds, I think. And it was freaking awesome. Oh my god, the destruction, the chaos, these two dinosaurs helping each other to defeat this stupid looking dinosaur. And then this stupid looking dinosaur was knocked down onto the fence, and it broke the fence, which is next to the water. And here's the thing, you know what's gonna happen. So the T-Rex and the Velociraptor are standing their ground, and the Indominus Rex is like, nope, I'm not finished yet, bitches. So it stands up, about to jump on the top of both of them, and then the Mosasaur jumps up on the sea and backs down on the Indominus Rex, takes it, and goes into the water. Holy shit! I was pissed off about this movie at a couple points. I thought the CGI was kind of shit compared to the other movies and stuff. It's not as good as it should be. Yes, I made a bunch of complaints about this film, but this climax is worth it. Seriously, worth it. The T-Rex and the Velociraptor give a last look to each other, and the T-Rex is like, yo, my homie. And the Velociraptor's like, same. And then they depart ways, and Blue's looking at Chris Pratt, and then Chris Pratt's like, and Blue's like, okay, I tried. So he runs away, and then you see, ooh, and then you see the two kids reuniting with their parents, and the sister reunites with Bryce Dallas Howard, and then Bryce Dallas Howard talks with Chris Pratt, and Chris Pratt's like, we're going to have to adapt. And Bryce Dallas Howard's like, yeah, I'm probably going to get sued. So then they go off into the light, and then it's dawn. And then it cuts back to the T-Rex, who's on top of the control center and yells out its magnificent roar, and then it cuts to black. Awesome! Oh my god. This movie was worth it because of the ending. Seriously, the final like 10 to 15 minutes was freaking awesome, man. I said a lot of shit about this movie, I know. But I gotta say that the last 10 to 15 minutes was freaking worth it. Oh, God. It was so... That was beautiful. It's like the creators of this movie saw Jurassic Park 3 and it's like, no, we're not doing that again! The T-Rex is the main star! And the T-Rex appearance on screen is like 5 minutes! And it's so freaking awesome! She's the rock star! So yeah, there might be a sequel to this movie because Dr. Wu is now with InGen and he took all the samples with him and all this stuff. So yeah, that could probably happen. And this movie made a lot of bank at the box office. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you have seen this movie already because it made a lot of bank at the box office. It beat Avengers Age of Ultron. And it beat Inside Out this week as well. So yeah, this movie I do recommend. It was a fun movie. I like Chris Pratt. I like Bryce Dallas Howard. I like Jake Johnson. And I do like the two kids, even though they were idiots in the beginning of the film. And even though that death was controversial, the death of the assistant, I gotta say, it took balls to kill off a female character, especially the one that's not a villain. Seriously. This movie does have some good qualities to it. I do like the environments. The environments do look nice. And yes, the CGI is iffy, but I guess it's kind of serviceable in a way, but also it kind of harms the movie too. If they focus a lot more on the dinosaurs and their characters, that would be good. But I do like the fact that they give velociraptors character and that you actually care about these velociraptors before they're just killing machines. They're like boss fights. But this time around, you actually want them to fight against the Indominus Rex. The Indominus Rex, I thought, was kind of a mess. I understand the idea behind it, but it's not as threatening as the T-Rex. I prefer the Spinosaur over this one, to be honest. You know what? I want a rematch between the T-Rex and the Spinosaur. The Spinosaur deserves his ass whooped. The score was good. They mostly used the John Williams score and Michael Giacchino, I believe that's the composer. He did a good job. I thought he did a good job. That's how I feel about the movie. I did like it. I thought it was a fun movie. I'll get it on Blu-ray. So even though I was pissed off about a lot of things, and yeah, it seems like I'm anal, like I said, I had a fun time in the end. And that ending made up for it, alright? Okay, so that's how I feel about Jurassic World. If you watched the movie, write down in the comments below, how do you feel about it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know, guys. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you'd like to subscribe, there's an annotation here for subscribing. So until next time, guys, see you later, and thank you for watching.